This is News with the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content, and please hit that thumbs up if you like the video. Here now is the news for Monday, January 12th of 2026. Disney's Typhoon Lagoon closure has been extended due to cold weather. It's right now in Florida, it's pretty unseasonably cold. This time of year, it's funny because a lot of the vacationers say, cold, what are you talking about? It's not cold. 60s is not cold. To Floridians, it's cold. Okay, so that's why the water parks are not open. So just keep that in mind. That the closure has now been extended for the water parks because of the cold weather. Scrim has been added to Expedition Everest at Disney's Animal Kingdom in the loading and unloading area. So we assume this is just a minor refurbishment, not anything not anything too major, but just a little bit of just a minor refurbishment of the loading and the unloading area. We don't expect any changes any major changes to happen, but if anything does change, we'll let you know and keep you updated. But no major changes are to be expected from this refurb. Speaking of the cold weather, Epcot Festival of the Arts will have a cold first weekend. I am blocked out this weekend because of whatever the holiday is. I can't remember what it is. So I won't be able to go this weekend. I plan on going on Tuesday to Epcot to cover the festival. So Tuesday, as long as the weather is good, I will be there. I will be live covering the Epcot International Festival of the Arts, which is actually one of my favorite festivals. Construction walls go up at Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin entrance for new signage at the Magic Kingdom. So they are getting this thing set up. I did actually go on the People Mover a little while ago because I was interested. I didn't know if they, if the audio was the same or not, but they did take out the Buzz Lightyear audio. They did take that out because the ride's closed, which I was interested, because I didn't know if it was still going to be, if they were still going to have that narration or not, and they don't. So, you can actually, obviously you can see inside when you ride the People Mover. There's windows to the right, and you can look down into Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Those are now closed. Those are closed because obviously the ride is closed, so no narration, and you can't see anything in those windows. So, will they keep the same narration? Probably. I would assume that they're going to keep the same narration. I don't know. But we'll just have to wait and see. I really don't know. Live action Ariel meet and greet returns to Walt Disney Presents. So they were doing just some minor refurbishment in her regular meet and greet. So in order to do that, she had to move. But now she's back in her regular spot at Walt Disney Presents. Tropical America's construction continues at Disney's Animal Kingdom. This is another one of those projects. Now, obviously, it's not going to take as long as the Cars, not really an expansion, the Cars themed area, or the Villains, expansion. Obviously, that's not going to take as long as those projects. We're expecting those. We're expecting Tropical Americas to open sometime next year. So sometime next year, they're supposed to open the Tropical Americas with the new Indiana Jones ride, which is replacing Dinosaur, and the new Encanto themed ride. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to this. Of course, I will be there on the last day of Dinosaur. I'll be closing Dinosaur in later this month, and then sometime next year we're going to be getting Tropical Americas. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the new themed area. So you have to let me know what you think in the comments. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the new themed area. All right, now this next story is going to be a rant. So, a 2-year-old transplant survivor was recently denied disability accommodations at Walt Disney World. All right, look, this is wrong. This is wrong, and it is absolutely outrageous. I know that Disney wants to, we all know that the system was abused, okay? We all know the system was abused, okay? We know that. But, come on. I mean, a transplant survivor was denied disability access. That is totally outrageous. That is totally outrageous. That is just asinine. I just can't believe that Disney would do that. That's just really, really ridiculous. Having a disability, it's a wide, having a disability is, a wide area to cover. I'm actually disabled. I had a stroke when I was 2, so I don't have a mental disability, but I do have, I can't use my left hand. I take that back already. I can use my left hand. I can't use my left hand to, I can't, like, if I, my right hand, I can, make the letter 2. I can make the number 2 or number 3. This, I can't. So, I can do number 4, I can do 5, I can do 1, but anything after that, I just can't. So, I understand what it's like to be disabled. I understand that, the world is stacked against you. But I don't have I don't have a disease that requires me to have a disability access service. I don't. So I don't, that I can't really, I can't relate to because, I don't have that myself. But hearing these other stories, and trust me, I read a lot of these stories. It's not just that I don't comment on them. I actually read the stories. I actually do read the stories of all these people that are being denied the disability access service. I think Disney, they on paper it sounds like it sounds reasonable that they don't want people to cheat the system and everything, but in actuality the people that actually need the service can't get it anymore because Disney has put a stop to it. And I think it's ridiculous. I think that that's outrageous. If I took my dad, to Walt Disney World, or if we went to Disneyland, he would have to have the access service. He's got MS. He's confined to a wheelchair, and if Disney had denied my dad that service, I would be absolutely outraged. I would be absolutely outraged at that. So, never mind, look, this, denying people, that have cancer, or if they have another type of debilitating disease, or this or that, that's not the way. That is not the way. It's not the way to handle the situation. Okay, I understand that people were cheating the system. I get that. Okay, but you can't punish everybody. You can't punish every single person on this planet because a small percentage of people were abusing that. Okay, and I don't know what the answer is. I really don't know what the answer is. But Disney has to figure this out. They really need to figure this out because this is bad. This does not look good on them. So, I truly hope that they figure this out because it's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous to read these stories about these kids or anybody else having being terminally ill and not getting this service. I think that that's totally ridiculous. It's the most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my life. So just because a small percentage of people was cheating the system does not mean that you should punish everybody. All right. So I'm sorry I'm sticking up for that. And if people want to come in the comments and trust me, I read a lot of gross comments as well. I read a lot of gross comments, not on my channel, but on, Facebook pages and stuff. And people are being really, really gross, being totally mean and, leaving gross comments. I'm sorry, but if the tables were turned and you had a debilitating disease and you weren't getting that service, I'm sorry, wouldn't you be upset too? I'm just saying, okay? So for people to, make those insane comments is totally outrageous. It is outrageous, and this whole thing is disgusting. This whole thing is just absolutely disgusting. Okay, again, I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. Okay, but this is not it. This is not it. Okay, denying every single person that has that has a disability is not the way. It is not the way. Okay, you are Disney. You are Disney. You are supposed to figure this out and not punish everybody else. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to stick to that. And if people want to, if people want to come at me and call me names and everything, I don't care. I really couldn't care less. Okay, because I'm always going to fight for the disabled. I am. Okay, and and obviously if you're not with us, then you're against us. And if you're against us, get out. Go away. Leave us alone. We don't want to listen to what you have to say. Okay, we really don't. I'm sorry. I'm being, I know I realize I'm being very mean, but that's the situation. That's the situation. Okay, you can't punish everybody that has a disability because somebody or a small percentage of folks were abusing the system. You just can't do that. You just can't do that. And I'm sorry, but I'm always going to stick up for the disabled. Okay, I always am. So if you want to come in the comments and argue with me about this, we can have that conversation, but you're wrong. You are wrong. Okay, and so is Disney. So is Disney. And like I said, I really hope to God that they figure this out. I really, really do. Because this is going to drive people not to come to Disney. Never mind all the woke crap or, just the, or anything else. This is what's going to drive people not to come, is because, because Disney is treating the disabled so poorly. Okay, so I'm sorry, but I'm always going to stick up for the disabled. I am. So that's my 2 cents on it. Okay. But let me know how you feel. I'm sure people are going to be like, well, it tells you, this says, blah, 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 blah. Okay? But I'm sorry. That's what I'm sticking to. That is what I'm sticking to. Okay? All right. Now, to get off of this rant, I did actually just set up a new YouTube channel. This one is all about Universal. So, this is not a Disney YouTube channel. This is a Universal channel. Okay, it's my new channel is called All Things Universal, 1988. You can search that, or you could Michael. Sure, you can find it either way. But but All Things Universal 1988 is where I'm going to be doing my Universal, my Universal channel. All right, so so I did already start uploading some videos. Those have been ride POVs so far. But to change to so I'm going to be changing this whole YouTube thing to help with this algorithm. So on this channel is going to be primarily news related, because that's what this channel is. It's news with the Disney Dude. Okay, so what happens is, because my channel, because of the name of this channel, it sends out to people that this is Disney news, okay, and not ride POVs or anything else. So, I still need to set up another Disney YouTube channel. So when I come back on Wednesday, I should have that set up. But I'm going to be setting up a new Disney YouTube channel just for ride POVs. Okay. And then, because the honest reviews are kind of news-ish, that will be on this channel. The ride POVs and, my, vlogging is all going to go on that new channel. So, again, I haven't created it yet. So, when I come back on Wednesday, I will let you know the details of that. But it helps with this algorithm. Okay. It helps with the algorithm of YouTube, because this is primarily a Disney news, YouTube channel. When it sends out the videos of this, it goes to people that only want the news. It doesn't go out to people that want rides or live streaming in the parks. So, we have, us YouTubers have to start figuring out, how to play around with this new algorithm. But news with the Disney Dude will be on this channel, as well as my honest reviews. And then I'm going to be creating a new Disney YouTube channel that is primarily focused on ride POVs and in-park blogging. All right. And it's the same thing with Universal. Now, my Universal channel, I think I've come up with a name that, that I can get away with, doing everything about Universal, ride POVs, the news, honest reviews, stuff like that. I think I can get away with that. We're just going to have to wait and see. Only time will tell on that one. But this Disney stuff will be changing. So the news is going to stay here, and the honest reviews are going to stay here. Moving to a new channel is going to be ride POVs, and when I actually blog in the parks. Now, and then Universal is set up in a way, I hope, knock on wood, where I can do everything on that channel. So this is all just to, kind of fight the algorithm of YouTube. So, but on Wednesday's show, I will be announcing what that new Disney Channel will be called. So look for that. Look for that coming out very, very soon. Okay. And as such, because now I'm going to be having 3 new channels, my show called More Disney is going to go away. You folks, you probably have realized I haven't been doing that for quite a while. I just haven't had time. You know, it takes so much of my time just to do the news and then blog in the parks and honest reviews and such that I just don't have time. I just don't have any time to do another show. I just can't. So, more Disney is going away. I know it didn't last long. I'm sorry, but I tried and it just, it just wasn't working out. It just wasn't working out. I was running out of, there's only so much I can do, and I don't do this for a living. I don't. So my time is also limited because I do work at Publix. So, obviously that takes most of my time. And then, Disney and Universal is kind of like a side thing, even though I don't get paid for those. Hopefully sometime soon I can, I don't know. But the YouTube thing, takes up, a little, it takes a big chunk of my time, but, Publix obviously is, my first priority because I work there, I get paid and everything. So that's my first priority. Okay. My second priority is my YouTube channels with Disney and Universal. So, if you go over to Universal, please, it would do me a huge favor if you would subscribe and like those videos. I know a lot of people on my Disney site. Thank you. I appreciate you folks subscribing and liking these videos as well. But again, like I said, this is all to fight the YouTube algorithm. Okay. It's all to fight this constant monster of, well, these people aren't interested. These people aren't interested in news. They're just interested in rides. These people aren't interested in rides. They want the news. Or maybe some people only want to watch, us, blog in the parks. So we have to create different channels because, YouTube, slots it in to where it thinks it fits. So, we're trying the best we can here. We just have to adapt and move on with it. So, but there you are. There is your news. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel and my Universal channel as well. I thank you guys very much for watching this video. You guys have a great rest of your evening. You all keep each other safe and healthy. And remember that tomorrow is just a dream away.